Everyone, my name is Allison and I am a customer champion here at Help Scout. And today I'm going to walk you through a relatively high level overview of Beacon and its features. So we'll just hop right in here. So, what is Beacon? Well, Beacon puts your help content front and center so your customers can stay on track. And every self service answer is one less chat or email conversation for your team. So Beacon is an embeddable widget that you can put on your website, just like you see right here. And when you do it, will link to your knowledge base site, which we call Docs, and also has options for your customers to contact you. It includes both a contact form and live chat capabilities if that's something that you'd like to offer to your customers. And the latest addition to Beacon is a tool we call Messages, which allows you to proactively message visitors of your website. So instead of waiting for them to interact with your beacon, you can display a relevant message to them depending where they are on your website or what action you would like for them to take. And we like to think that the best possible customer experience is the one that feels tightly integrated with the user experience. So when you can anticipate the customer's question and provide an answer without them needing to context switch, it's really magical. And Beacon optimizes for that by leading with content wherever possible. So to get started, I'm going to head into my Help Scout account here and we'll go to Manage and Beacons. And here's where you can start building this embeddable widget that will match the look and feel of your website. Now you can have as many beacons as you want, all built into the price of your Help Scout account. So if you want to have a different beacon for every page on your website, you can absolutely do that. In a practical example, though, let's say you have a pricing page and you want to display certain information within your beacon on that pricing page. You can do that by setting up those different beacons. Or if you have multiple kinds of support, say for different products or languages, you can make a different beacon for each one and customize how they work and what information they show. So to start here in the beacon builder, you can come in and set the name of the beacon, select the best color to match your branding, and choose the icon that you would like to use to display the beacon on your website. And then from there, you'll connect the beacon to a mailbox within your Help Scout account. And that's where chats, if you have them, and contact form submissions will go. And we know that as a support team, chat feels like a daunting task and seems hard to manage. And there's a few challenges with chat, like volume and a frustrating customer experience when trying to get to a real person. And with chat, we've seen instances where you, as a customer, are led to believe that you are chatting with a live person, when in reality, you're going through a series of bot or AI led prompts, only to be sent straight to email when no human is available. Well, Beacon Chat is the opposite of that. When someone on your team is available to chat with the customer, they will see that option. And when you are not around, the chat option disappears for your customers completely. We know that every beacon has a goal, and sometimes your goal is to talk with more customers and gather more feedback. And sometimes your goal is to push a more self service path so that customers can find answers faster. And with that in mind, we created modes so you can align Beacon's user experience with your own goals. And we've got three here for you to choose from. So we have self service, which will actually take away all of the contact options until someone has at least looked through your help content or tried to help themselves. Neutral mode will put contact options and your help articles side by side, so visitors can kind of choose their own adventure there. And then the ask first mode prioritizes the email and chat options first and foremost, but you can also get to help articles there with a single click at the top of your beacon. One of our overall goals with Beacon was to cut down on your incoming email volume by 30%. And letting Beacon lead with answers from your knowledge base right at the start allows the customer to help themselves before they ever make it to you. And Beacon really shines when you also use our knowledge base tool that we call Docs, which allows you to display knowledge base articles right within your Beacon. And this is especially powerful when you utilize the suggested content feature you see here. Excuse me, which will allow you to surface the exact article you want your customer to see for that specific beacon. So for example, let's say you have that beacon that's just on a pricing page. You might want to show pricing specific help articles right away to that website visitor. because you know exactly where that person is on your website and you know exactly what's going to be the most helpful for them in that moment. And then finally, here, everything that you see in a beacon can be translated to better match your brand voice or to offer support in different languages if that's something that you'd like to do. So if you don't like the default phrasing of these email and chat options, no worries there. You can come in here and you can set these to be whatever you would like them to read. So for example, let's say you wanted to add your phone number to the top of a beacon, you can totally do that. You can see how I'm changing this here, and it's automatically changed there at the top of that beacon. So again, anything that you see in a beacon, you can come in here and you can change that to read whatever you would like it to. And then once you've got the beacon just the way you want it, we give you a little piece of code to get that added to your website. And if that's not something that you can do, we've got an email template here. You can see that code is included, and you can send this to your developer, your web manager, whoever that might be. And it should just take them just a minute or two to get the beacon added to your website. And then once that's done, you can come back into the builder here. You can make as many changes as you want, and those will automatically be put right back into your beacon. So you only have to get your developers involved just the one time, and then you can handle everything else right here from Health Scout. And the one last portion of Beacon is a tool we call Messages. And this gives you the ability to proactively message visitors of your website. So instead of waiting for them to interact with your beacon, you can push a message right out to any website visitor. And we hope that with this, you can convert more customers, reduce support requests, and build a better business with these targeted messages. And messages can help you meet various goals like increasing engagement with clients and customers, or surfacing helpful articles to improve the self-serve experience on your website. So let's check out how to build a message here and all of the different options we have for the message itself and where you can send the call to action in that message. So we go in here, I'm just going to edit a message that we already have. You can see here, you can come in and set anything that you would like the beacon to say. In this instance, we're building out a micro survey. And so you can just quickly survey folks who are visiting your website. You can set that body of that message in there, and you can choose the action that you would want them to take. And again, in this instance, we're going to respond to a survey. So you can come in here, you can change all of that. You can basically set it up to read whatever you would want it to. And then we'll want to set up the event, right? So when this message will trigger. And here we have two main trigger possibilities. We have first visit. So that's the first time anyone lands on any page of your website that has this beacon installed. Or we have sequence of events. And that's where you can customize how this message triggers with just a little more granularity. And the sequence of events, one of the more popular ones is to have it trigger after a certain number of seconds that someone is on your website. So let's say, or the page of your website, I should say. So here you can say after 10 seconds, I'm then going to trigger this message out to display. But you can also do things like the last page viewed, as someone starts scrolling down the page, the number of page views. So maybe like the 5th page view on your website, you can trigger a message then. Or you could do specific URL. So if there's maybe one page on your website where you know folks could use a little extra help, you could specify what that page is and have the message only display on that page. And then once someone has seen the message again, we won't, or Help Scout, I should say, won't show that to them again. So you're not going to annoy your users with any repeat information. Okay, I'm going to go back to all of our messages here so we can kind of look at a few different examples and ways that you can use messages. So for one thing, we all have that little hiccup on our website. So let's say moments during setup that are confusing or phrases that create head scratching moments for some customers. And you can stay on top of common customer confusions by offering helpful docs articles exactly when and where customers need them. So again, you can trigger this message on a specific URL on your website or page of your website, I should say, and they'll get them that extra information, that extra help article will pop right up to them. If you've got an upcoming webinar or other event, Messages are a really great way to get information out to anyone visiting your website. And you can also use this for things like mailing lists or newsletters with no technical help needed. You can set that up inside your Help Scout account, have that show up on your website. And then with that one button click there, that can take someone right out to any sign up form you might have. And if your website or app or business are having any sort of issues, you can alert your customers and site visitors to any status events or things like that that you might be having quickly and easily without needing to get any others involved. And a message doesn't have to have an action. You can just use it as a simple little alert system anywhere a beacon is installed. And this may also be helpful for things like shipping slowdowns and other interruptions to business you'd like to share with customers to cut down on the incoming volume of emails that you might be receiving at any moment in time. You can also use surveys like I showed you earlier there, so you can kind of capture heat of the moment frustration with a simple message. So if you've launched something new or would just like to gather general feedback, you can use a message to collect that information by using the Beacon simple contact form. And you can qualify that feedback using custom fields, so you can report on it or use automations to send that feedback to another team. And you can also do more traditional NPS with messages as well. So if that's something you'd like to set up, or if you'd like to engage with your customers more deeply and have them reach out to you, you can also set up a message that encourages them to email you or start a live chat with you. So there's a lot of different ways that you can interact with your website visitors, all there by using messages. So let's say you have a beacon installed on your website, and we can check out live chat here in action. So first things first, you must set your chat status up here to available. And that's because we believe that great experiences happen when you set the right expectations. And that's why Beacon never shows a live chat window unless someone is available to help. And that way your customers can rest assured that they'll be connected directly to a human and not to a robot. So I'm going to go over this little sample doc site that I have built out, and I have a beacon installed on it. And you can see here I have both options for email and chat. So let's say in this instance that the customer actually wants to chat with us. So they can select that there. And the first thing they'll get, we'll just ask them a quick question to get the conversation going. Oops. There we go. And then from there, we're going to ask for their email address. And that's because once the chat is complete, we generate a transcript of that chat and we archive that transcript with the rest of the customer's profile. So no matter if you've had an email conversation with someone or you've had a chat, you're always going to be able to go back and refer to those previous conversations that you're having with folks. Okay, so I've come back into my Help Scout account here, and you see I have this notification that I have a new chat coming in. So we can open that up, and this is going to take us right into that chat. So this is what we would experience on our side through Help Scout as we're chatting with our customers. And if you're familiar with email and Help Scout, this might look really similar to you as well. So you have all the customer's information, all their previous conversations, and I can even do many of the same things in chat that I could also do in email. So for example, I can share docs links with the customer if I need to. I can use saved replies in chat. So again, you might be familiar with this if you already use this with email inside Help Scout, but you can save little snippets of responses that you can very quickly send back to customers without having to type it out over and over again. So if it's a reply that you or a question that you get quite frequently, you can save those replies and very quickly add them in to a chat. So you can see I can do that there in just a few moments. Then when I go back to my website, here's what the customer will see on their side of things. They'll see everything that I've shared with them. They can reply to that. And when I come back into my Help Scout account, you'll see that reply is there. So it's live instant chat, just like you would expect it to be. And then once you're ready to end the chat, we've got a few different options for you here as well. So you can leave a summary, which will attach a private note to the top of the chat transcript. So if you need to summarize the conversation in any way or leave a note for yourself or for your teammates, you can do that there. And by default, all chats are archived in your Help Scout account, and they'll be put into the closed folder. But let's say that you have there's a question here from a customer that you just don't quite have the right answer to. You might need to go do more research. You might need to talk with someone else on your team. You can change the status of that from closed to active. And then when I hit in chat here, I can go over into my unassigned email folder, and there I'll see that live chat. We open that up. You can see, let me close a few things here. There we go. You can see that whole chat is there. The transcript was generated. And with one click, I can reply to my customer via email. So it's a seamless transition between chat and email if I need it to be. It's not two separate systems. I don't have to, go out anywhere else and come back into Help Scout. Everything that I need to manage all of my customer communications is right there. So Beacon lets your customers and visitors experience the quality of your service more immediately without having to jump out of whatever task they are trying to achieve. So you can offer varied experiences according to your capacity, your goals, and the needs of different customers. And you can do that with just a few minutes of setup. And one thing to note about all of this is that you can do even deeper customizations with our Beacon JavaScript API. So if you have access to a developer, there are a lot of customizations they can do, such as pre-fill a customer's name and email address if they are logged into your app, or open Beacon via a link on your website. So if you'd like to read more up on that, you can pass some documentation over to your development team, and they can check that out at developer.helpscout.com. And you can also come to this same place if you'd like to embed a beacon into your iOS and Android mobile apps as well. And that will also take some developer help, but we have full SDKs for both operating systems if you'd like to add a beacon directly into your mobile apps. So that is an overview of Beacon, and I know that's a lot to take in. If you ever have any questions for us, you can always reach out to us via email, help@helpscout.com, or if you're inside your Help Scout account, you can open up our own Beacon that's here, and you can get some help from us this way as well. So anything that you ever need, any Beacon questions that you have, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here for you anytime, help@helpscout.com.